Take your healing potions, everyone. Take your healing potions. Make sure you stay healed up. Get healed up. Yeah. Take your healing potions, everyone. So how's it going? We have some new music. And actually, the new music is from a really good buddy of mine. I'm really super happy to bring you some music from Freeman. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm sure it's kind of a play on words there. I like that. I certainly like that, man. But yeah, this is from one of my good buddies that I grew up with. Check him out on Spotify. Freeman, Freemon. I'm going to be dropping links for it both in my stream profile, my Facebook page, pretty much everywhere. I certainly want to give him a lot of credit where credit is due because he's got some great mixes up, and he is letting people use it copyright free. So if you are a streamer or a content creator, feel free to use his mixes. Just make sure that you obviously give him credit for the music, but feel free. And yeah, this is one of those mixes. This is called Going Up. Because that's what we're going to be doing this morning. We're going to be going up. We're going to be going up with some treasure maps here. We're going to be going up with some treasure maps. Yeah, it was really nice of him. He contacted me just the other day to let me know about the music. Didn't really know too much about like kind of the streaming aspect of things and everything like that. I guess he has a PR manager that kind of handles that stuff for him, and through discussing it with him, it turns out that he is actually available on I believe it's Twitch Tunes. I don't use Twitch Tunes myself. I use Spotify, so I'm not sure if that's what it's called. But again, for any streamers that want some DMCA free, copyright-free music to play on their streams, use Freeman on Spotify. But again, make sure you give him credit, right? Give credit where credit's due. But welcome, everyone. Take potions. Take your healing potion for the day, everyone. How's it going? What's everyone up to today? Just relaxing today. Hopefully getting some game time in today. We had some really rough weather last night. We got some freezing rain again last night. Kind of came out of nowhere. 60 barbed hides. Who's dropping those out in the middle of nowhere? I don't have a pair of scissors on this character, so I'm just gonna mule them to the bank here real quick. I can always use those. Alright, and without further ado, we're gonna go do some treasure maps. Number 128. So how was everyone's weekend? Mine was pretty good. I watched a hilarious movie. Oh man, my girlfriend and I watched it was called Bad Trip. It was with I always forget his name. Is it Eric Andre? He's the guy from Two Broke Girls that Max dated for a little while. But really funny movie. I guess it's from the same creators as like Jackass and Bad Grandpa. And essentially the concept of the movie was half the people in the movie are actors, like the people that are actually acting are actors, but then everyone else in the movie around the storyline are just are candid people throughout society and everything like that. And it was really neat to watch that type of movie. I didn't actually watch Bad Grandpa. I realized that afterwards. Because it was funny when I was watching it, I'm like, oh, this is such a neat concept for a movie. And then the movie was done airing and it said, oh, by the producers of Jackass and Bad Grandpa. And I completely forgot about the movie Bad Grandpa that came out quite a few years ago. And I believe that was roughly the same concept too, right? Where it was the grandfather with his grandson, and then essentially by acting bad with the grandson, like people would react to like what they were doing and stuff like that. So I finally set up macros on this character. Not that it's really going to help me much. I still suck, but at least now I can cast with a couple of keys, right? That's always a nice feature. It's probably almost easier for me to just take them out by casting than it is for me to summon a demon every time at this initial stage. Oh, and we did our first seasonal scroll. That was an epic fail on my part. Our group completed the scroll, and then I didn't realize that the key was instantaneously deposited into your backpack. So here we are running around looking for the key. You know, who's got the key? Who's looting the key? Where do we loot the key from? Where do we acquire the key? And don't you know, the key's in my bag the whole time. I'm a very organized person when it comes to my bags and stuff like that, if you notice. But it was one of those things where I wasn't expecting it to be in my bag even. So after we were done the chest, we were pretty close on time too. So after we were done the chest, go figure, I was looking around and stuff like that, and I found the key in my bag after we were done. But whatever. Live and learn, right? We had fun. We ended up actually getting an ice golem statue out of it. And we ended up getting, what did we get? I think we got almost 25 holiday coin. So, can't really complain there either, really. We'll axe this chest here. Keeping it nice and chill here this morning, folks. Keeping it chill here since it's cold outside again, right? Hey, computer, what's the temperature today?
Right now, it's -2 degrees Celsius.
Oh,
today,
that's not too bad, actually.
4 degrees.
-2 isn't really that bad.
I hope you have a good morning.
I hope you have a good morning, Shannon. Oh, Shelly. That's what it was, Shelly. So I always call my electronic devices that talk to me Shelly. Reason being is from Mad TV back in the day. There used to be this skit, if anyone remembers. I want to say his name's Neil McDonald. He used to do the skit, the same guy that does Stewart. Anyways, he used to have this skit where essentially he was kind of like a movie producer or a music producer or something. I forget now. But he had this assistant that, I mean, it was not like she was bad or anything. It's just, he was always harping on her, right? Shelly, I need more chicken carbonara. Shelly, get me more chicken carbonara. And then as soon as she'd bring it, Shelly, you know I'm on a diet. What are you doing to me here? You're going to kill me, Shelly. Horrible impersonation, but that's kind of the gist of it. So we got 102 here. I thought it was actually, you know what? That wasn't a bad impersonation. If you go watch the videos, you'll see that actually wasn't a bad impersonation, folks. That was a pretty good one, actually. Oh, come on, Shelly. Put the chicken carbonara in the elevator and send it on down to the bottom floor. I can't even smell it, Shelly. I can't even smell the stuff. It's driving me crazy, Shelly. Here I am on the treadmill and I can't even concentrate. I'm just a wackadoodle. This one will be a bit easier because I summon the demon first. That's a pretty easy trick. Like, for any mage out there, like, demons, Super awesome. Go-to spell. Yeah, you lose a little bit of karma, but whatever. It's easy to get back. You don't really gain much by having karma, right? Who cares about that? Who wants to be lawful good? That's the thing. In a game like this, technically at this point in development, there was no benefit for having really, like, positive karma. But there is a lot of benefits to having negative karma, technically. Indirectly, right? By casting spells, doing fun things that negatively affect your karma. all the most fun things in Ultima Online affect your karma negatively, right? Murdering, stealing, all the things you can't do in all the other games nowadays, right? What did we get an orc? Oh, I thought we had an orc mask. I was gonna say, I didn't even know they dropped them. Thought those were for dungeon chests. And then a newbie hatchet. I love my newbie hatchet. Pretty much for that exact reason, just for hacking the treasure chests. Because there's nothing worse than being a treasure hunter and coming up on someone else's treasure chest, and then you can't do yours for, what is it? I believe it's a little bit over an hour, if I'm not mistaken. Put it this way, it's a brutal long time. It's a brutal long time. I have no idea who this guy is. I'm super friendly to everyone, though. I'm Urzog. I don't know who Urzog is, I have to admit. Maybe I have met them and I just don't remember. I can't look up the guild at work. VPN is off. Oh! Sorry, yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's more than enough. 3K lockpicks. Yeah, with lockpicking, it's really super easy. Because you don't technically break a lockpick every time you go to attempt a lockpick. So really, it's not too bad in terms of the actual pick amount. I think I went through maybe 500, and that's probably including getting to GM too, because the 99.5 is easy, you just macro it up, and then the extra 0.5 is the brutal part, right? Which you have to do on like level 4 chest, like treasure chest, stuff like that. But it really still only took me maybe 500 lockpicks. It's not that bad. Okay, so essentially too, like what I'm describing to him is like, you need to, I think you need to be 10 skill points above your lockpicking level. So for an example, if your lockpicking level is, and don't quote me on this, but it's just from what I roughly remember, but if your lockpicking level is like level 30, you want to use roughly a level 40 chest, and that's why you can't technically GM off of a GM locked box, because once you get to 99.5, you're going to be 100% successful, and you have to have at least some percentage of a fail rate in Ultima Online to gain a skill point or have a chance of gaining a skill point. So you have to keep your lockboxes a certain skill level above the picking level, if that makes sense. Some of it's kind of, trial and error, depending on your current dexterity and stuff like that, and your shown skill, but you kind of figure it out. It's super easy to macro up. Always try and be friendly to people in town. got a few more maps here to do. We might do, I don't know, might do some more maps, or maybe we'll do some farming. Who knows? Who knows, right? The morning is our oyster. Also, too, if maybe I'll see if any guildies online. Maybe we could see if we could maybe do a scroll on stream. That'd be pretty cool, like a seasonal scroll. My guild and I did the blue one last night, like I was saying. We completed it. It's just I'm a complete noob and didn't realize the chest key was in my bag to open up the chest, so we lost out on some of the loot, but live and learn, right? I mean, whatever. It was still fun. We still had a blast. Everyone was laughing. Everyone was, oh man, it was so much fun. I wish I had recorded it. It was pretty funny. It was pretty entertaining. All right, we'll get going on maps here again in a second here. I just wanted to be friendly here. Alrighty. We'll keep going here, folks. We'll keep going here on some maps. I've got plenty of maps, don't worry. I've got no shortage of maps here, folks. We got plenty of maps to do. So I try and keep my stuff organized, like I said, like these, like our level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is just what I keep in my bag, just kind of on hand. Or in my, sorry, did I say my bag? That's what I keep on me in my bag. Get that guy rezzed up and healed up. Help him out a little bit there. Get him back on the road, shall we? Okay, so we're going to 124 here. Still don't have them memorized quite yet. I've only played on this server for a little bit over a couple of months now. Like, and by a couple of months, like I mean literally like just over 2, I think. Maybe pushing into a third now. Maybe pushing into a third, but yeah, we haven't played here very long. I've been really enjoying my time here, though. This is Ultima Online Renaissance, and I have really been enjoying my time. Oh. And because I don't have Provoke, we're going to have to run away here for a quick second. Oh, there's just a little bit of spawn everywhere. That's always fun to deal with. Alright, we're good now. We're good now. Oh. Get him aggroed on the demon. So for anyone that wants to check it out, this is Ultima Online Renaissance. It is a free-to-play, free-to-download server. Super, super great server. I really like this server. Super old school. That's what I remember from when I was a teenager. Well, I guess preteen? Preteen into teenager. Yeah, I'm old. This game came out in the mid-90s. I'm old. All right. I gotta keep looking over. See what's playing here. All right, yeah, let's do. We're gonna do another Freeman mix here. So again, this is my buddy Freeman that I grew up with. Freeemon. DMCA, strike free, copyright free music. He is opening his music up to let content creators and streamers alike use it. Just obviously give him credit where credit is due. I'll be doing all my panels and everything like that to give him shout outs and everything regarding it. But really good artist. He's got a lot of really good mixes. Relatively new artist, so I mean, by all means, if you want to be on the up and up on the know on the streamer music scale, get in before everyone starts streaming them, right? Get in before everyone's streaming them. He'll be the next Harris Heller, right? Hey man, like I was telling him to check Harris Heller out. Like, that guy's legit, right? I mean, he's making good money off what he does. And there's no hate on a person for doing that either, right? I mean, they put their music out for content creators to use for free. I mean, hey, make bank off of it, right? All the power to you. That's the thing. I find in a lot of situations, there's so much like hate among the like streamer community. Like, if someone else is doing like well or something, or, you know, like someone else, you know, has a good pop off one day or something, or a good stream or something, and like everyone kind of starts hating on them and maybe like doesn't like it themselves. And it's like, why? Like, you know, just like and love everything you see, right? It's so easy to share someone's content, so easy to hit the like button for someone and stuff like that. Like, you know, I try and show the love where and when I can. Because that's especially too, like, especially nowadays with everyone kind of going through what they're going through and everything like that. Like, so many people are starting to start online businesses and stuff like that and everything. And I mean, if you can buy, you know, a product from your friend for maybe $2 or $3 more than a store or something, like, why wouldn't you, right? Because then at the end of the day too, maybe you start selling something, you know, and then they start buying from you, and it's just that, you know, that cycle, right? Whereas I can pretty much guarantee you, if you buy something from Walmart, I don't think they're going to purchase something back from you. I mean, maybe if you're like some big, you know, distributor or something like that. Boom, boom, boom. I always try and recall in hidden, if you notice, because there's a lot of lazy T mappers out there that will just leave spawn from their last treasure map. And there's been plenty of times where I've recalled in, you know, dropped right in on something badass. Like, it's one thing to drop in on, you know, level 1 spawn, but it's completely different to drop in on a Belron, you know, something like that, right? Something, you know, capable of defending itself. All right. And again, take your healing potions, everyone. Get your healing potion for the day. That's what you came here for, right? That's what everyone comes here for, the potions. Forget heals. You can get healed up anywhere. Come for the potions. Which reminds me, actually, I completely forgot. I need the magic of my RGB potion. Make sure you take the RGB potion with you today as well, folks. I'm gonna turn this off and make it spooky in here for a minute. Make sure you take the RGB potion with you today, right? The RGB potion keeps the lag away. And who wants to be lag free? Or who wants to have lag when they're gaming, right? Just take the RGB potion, sip on it throughout the day. Enjoy it. I think we're maxing out here for weight. So after this one, we're going to town, sell some stuff. So where does everyone else play? I know most people play on Outlands and UO Forever. Seems to be, what's the other one? Evermore? There seems to be a few streamers on Evermore as well. I think that's the other. I think that one might be European if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that, but I think that one seems more European based. All right, so we're all set here. Yeah, and I've played both UO Forever and UO Outlands. Both of them are really good. Just depends on what you're looking for. Like the way I would kind of describe it is like this is like if time was almost like shut off at T2A and like kind of around the Renaissance time period and stuff like that for Ultima Online. It seems like UO Forever kind of like continued off a little bit, but didn't go so much into like Tremel. And then Outlands is just like, that's a totally different game to me. I mean, it's the mechanics of Ultima Online. It would be like if you're using like the Unreal Engine to create a video game, but your video game is vastly different than everything else. The map's different, characters are different, everything's different. So I always say, like, if you're looking for like an experience where essentially like you've maybe been playing over all the years or something and you're getting bored of UO, which, I mean, who could get bored of UO? Maybe if you were like bored of the content or something, maybe you'd go to Outlands. But for me, it was so different that I didn't really feel like I was kind of clicking with it. Whereas this has like that nostalgic feel for me, you know, even with like right down to like the factions. Like you'll be sitting in town and all of a sudden you'll get like, you know, 5 guys tearing off and you're kind of like laughing like, where are they going? And then all of a sudden you see like another group of 5, 6, 7 guys like tearing after them, and you know, the one guy in the front's all purple because of the sigil, and you know, it's fun that way, right? It's super nostalgic that way. And then it's kind of neat too because there is a little bit of custom content. It's not like, you know, slap you in the face, but there is a little bit of custom content in terms of extra treasure map levels, some pirate content, stuff like that, right? I find a lot of servers kind of focus on the boating system and stuff like that in Ultima Online, because original Ultima Online, it was kind of lacking. So it's nice to see them giving some fishermen some love and stuff like that, right? Oh, excuse me. Whoa. Music just randomly turns up and down. That's weird. Alrighty. Got one more left here in our bag. Maybe after we'll go. Maybe we'll try and hunt some leprechauns. That's the seasonal. That's the seasonal event going on right now. Is leprechauns and Easter bunnies. It's really super fun. So essentially, the leprechauns are hidden throughout the world, and you have to go search them out. It's much easier if you have tracking. But it's still really fun if you don't have tracking. You just kind of run around, happen upon a leprechaun. They spawn quite often, actually. It's a pretty decent spawn rate for them. And then once you defeat them, there's a rare chance at a little teleporter. So if you use the teleporter, it'll teleport you into an instance-based dungeon, and you progress through that almost like a little mini champ. It's really cool. Chance at some rares. There's a chance at, I believe, a rare colored horse. Things like that, right? I believe there's, I want to say, a blue horse you can get this year. So that's pretty cool. this back on now. So you can see me again, right? That's what everyone wants. To be able to see me. Yeah, my girlfriend got me hooked on Better Call Saul. I didn't mind Breaking Bad, but I wasn't, you know, as big a fan as, like, some people. Like, my girlfriend's a big fan. But I'm finding Better Call Saul almost better than Breaking Bad. I think Breaking Bad for me was one of those shows that was just, it was too blown out of proportion. Like, everyone was like, oh my god, the show is the greatest thing ever in time. Like, it's gonna change the way you look at television. And after watching it, I was like, yeah, it's good, but, like, it's television. I've seen shows like it before. It's not really that, you know, revolutionary. Alright, so we're going to chop the chest here. Oh, I was going to say, where'd my newbie hatchet go? But it's right there. Alright. Choppity chop, 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 chop. All done. Release this bad boy here. That's the great thing about demons, too. You don't have to drag them around with you. Once you're done with them, you just drop them off. Oh. All right, then. Oh, and thank you very much, PA Coupons, for the like on the stream on my Facebook platform. I do multi-streaming to Facebook as well. So sometimes I'm responding to people there, sometimes I'm responding to people on Twitch. But thank you for the like, PA Coupons. Always appreciated. How are you today? Hopefully your day's going well. Hopefully you're staying warm with the lovely weather we ended up getting surprised with last night. Yeah, we were surprised with some freezing rain here, folks. It's been really nice weather the last couple of weeks up here in Canada. But unfortunately, last night we had some freezing rain. So that's never fun. It wasn't too bad, though, actually. It was nothing like, what was it? I guess it would have been about 3 years ago now when we had that freak ice storm in the middle, or I guess it would have been closer to the middle to end of April. That was full on dangerous. That was really bad. I mean, parking lots were to the point where they were inaccessible. It got pretty hairy for a while there. 44. Ooh, Crossroads. This was always one of my favorite places. Ultima Online Crossroads. The Brit Crossroads. I guess it's not even really the Brit Crossroads, though, is it? That's what I always used to call it back in the day, though. It always used to be a big thing for me. I don't know why, but I always wanted a house here, like right on this strip right here. It's not even really that good a real estate. Like, it's not really close to a mountain. It's not close to water like most people want. I don't know. I just like this spot. I think because back in the day, this was like pretty much like our #1 spot as like kids to kind of like hang out. Like, we always came here, just kind of fought like the Ettins and, you know, went to the Orc Fort and stuff just north of here and the Brigand Camp and everything. And Shame is what? Just north of here, if I'm not mistaken. So I always used to go to Shame. That was good kind of intermediate dungeon at the time. Taking out the Earth Ellies. Taking out the Earth Ellies. Pretty much back in the day, I hated anything that had the ability to cast. So, like, I never really left the first floor. Like, I could deal with scorpions. Yeah, the poison was annoying and frustrating, but it still wasn't as bad as dealing with the casters. Whereas, like, if you saw a Lich back in the day, oh boy, you ran. You ran. I mean, maybe 1 out of 10 times, like, your buddy would be like, no, we don't have to run. And it was funny because, like, it didn't matter what you were fighting, you were always using it. But you'd be like, your buddy would be like, no, I got a silver halberd. I can just take this thing out. Woof. Woof. And then all of a sudden he flame strikes one of you. Woof. And meanwhile, the woofing is him missing, of course, right? Because you still only got 50 swordsmanship. And he's woofing away, and sure enough, all of a sudden you realize, oh, wait a second, we're both dead. Where did that silver weapon come in handy? Oh, well, I've been using it all day to kill orcs, so it might be a little bit damaged. It's funny too, because that's back in the day before, essentially before YouTube. I mean, there was UO Stratix, but not everyone even used that, right? So it was kind of before the day where everyone had the knowledge to really, you know, be efficient in the game all the time, right? Knowing what skills worked with what skills and complemented other skills, and, you know, what templates should be, and, you know, how to build or progress skills and stuff like that. Like, you know, not all of that was common knowledge back in the day. It was kind of funny. Whereas nowadays, you know, you just hop on Google or hop on YouTube and how to, right? And you're off to the races. You're crushing it. All right, 39. Oh. I just keep literally picking the same book. Oh, excuse me. Oh, boy. I need my jet fuel here, apparently. Oh. Pop the chest. All right. So now we're cruising. Yeah, I might do a couple of level 2s here at least to make it a little more interesting. This is probably a little bit boring, to be honest. Just crushing out level 1s. I just have so many to do. I just need to get them done. Oh, guess there wasn't a point of using telekinesis when I'm standing right beside the chest. Yeah, I've just got so many level 1 treasure maps to do. I've just got to start getting some done. Get the aggro off me there. I'm glad I finally have my macro set up for casting. That makes it so much easier. Okay, so start freeing up bank room. Start freeing up bank room. Those are my maps from this morning. I've still got all these to do, folks. I have way too many maps. Way too many maps. I'm just hoping for a chance at a one of the level 7s that spawn. So the way it essentially works on this server is you get, by doing treasure maps, you get a chance at a level 7 map, which is pretty rare. And then by doing the level 7 map, it opens up actually an instant dungeon. You don't actually have to do another treasure map. It's actually a dungeon that you do, which is pretty cool. So I've been doing a bunch of maps, hoping for a chance at a level 7. But so far, have not been lucky enough to find one. Oh well, we'll find one eventually. Selling off some crud here. That's the funny part. Like, half the money from those treasure chests comes from just the crud that you sell off in the chest, right? It's not even from the actual chest gold itself. Yeah, I forget what we started with, but it wasn't very much, so yeah, that much, and you make it reasonably quick here. And like I've said, it's not like a treasure mapper is a hard template to start making. A couple of lockpicks and a box set and you're off to the races, right? All right, we'll do 2 level 2 maps and then we'll probably switch it up to maybe some farming for a little bit. Hey, Fab, how's it going? How are you this morning? How are you? How was your weekend? I was talking about, we were talking about the movie Bad Trip. If you haven't seen that, you have to see that. That's such a funny movie. I keep messing up his name. I want to say it's Eric Andre. I'm pretty sure it's Eric Andre. He's one of the stars in it. So funny. Go watch it, Fab. So funny. I'm always good. How are you today? Yeah, it's such a funny movie. It's essentially like if you've seen Bad Grandpa, where the cast knows that like there's a movie being shot, but then all the side actors don't know what's going on and that they're actually on film. Super funny movie. It's really good. Yeah, Bad Trip. Yeah, Bad Trip. It was really funny. I quite enjoyed it. Like hearing the title, you think it's going to be like kind of like a drug type of movie and stuff like that, but it's actually more it's about a road trip that they're taking. It's very similar to like a Dumb and Dumber type of movie, where essentially like they're chasing after a girl, and without giving too much away, like there's a road trip. Very funny movie though. You definitely have to. Yeah, my girlfriend and I watched it, I guess it was Friday night if I'm not mistaken, and we were killing ourselves laughing the whole time. It was funny for me though, because I had completely forgot about like Bad Grandpa. So I had completely forgot that like essentially that style of movie had been done before, like kind of like the candid camera movie, but like full feature film. So when the movie was done, it said by the producers of Jackass and Bad Grandpa, and then I was like, oh right, I totally forgot that had that same style, where only the people that are in the movie know that there's a movie being shot in the scenes. But yeah, it was really good. What did you get up to this weekend, Fab? Anything exciting and new? We had a really bad storm here last night. We got some freezing rain, like some freak freezing rain. Because as you know, like the rink had thawed out and everything like that. Like the ice rink I had built in the backyard had thawed out. you know, all the snow's gone from the ground here and everything. And then go figure, last night it drops down and we get freezing rain, right? Oh, well, Scully? No, I'm cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Oh, and DL Diesel? No. Appreciate the things losers, but no, I'm good. I played games all weekend and left my responsibilities behind, which I'm paying for it now. Well, that's usually the way, though, right? I find, you know, usually you can find that sometimes that happy median between, you know, no responsibilities and getting what you need done. You just kind of slowly do it as it comes up. But yeah, no, I definitely sympathize with that. Yeah, there's nothing worse than having everything pile up at the end of the weekend and everything like that. Especially going back into the week, because then you're on your work schedule anyways, as well as the chores too, right? All right, we'll do a quick drop of aggro here. Oh, world save. That's one thing about the server. I've noticed on other servers, they have like this little, like, essentially like a little gump that kind of pops up and says like, hey, you know, the world is saving, like, don't lose your because every time there's a world save and you get that like huge hiccup of just like lag, it's reminiscent of back in the olden days when I was like on dial-up, and you'd be like, you know, out in, you know, a dungeon or something like that, and all of a sudden out of nowhere someone in your house picks up the phone and you've lost connection to the internet, and you're just sitting there like, oh great, like, was I healing myself? Did I have aggro on something? Am I gonna die? Am I gonna get looted? The joys of Ultima Online, right? It's so hard to stay concentrated when holidays is a week away. Not that I'm doing anything fun, but it won't be in school, so there's that. No, that's true too, eh? Yeah, Easter's relatively early this year, eh? That's pretty cool. That's exciting. And actually, it's Kelsey's birthday coming up soon too. So I'm going to make sure I get her something awesome. The present of me, right? That's awesome enough, isn't it? Or is that too corny? That's really corny, right? No, she deserves something pretty awesome. I got to get her something pretty awesome. Oh. All right, 1 second. We're going to drop the aggro here again. Yeah, lovely present, right? Yeah, right. Lovely present. I'm not that megalomaniac. I don't think I'm the only one. It's not that great a present, trust me. I'm on the receiving end of this present every single day of my life, and there's a no return policy. I gotta talk to someone about that. Oh, look, there's an Easter bunny, and how convenient that I don't have any carrots on me, and I'm playing a stealth character. So this is one of the event creatures. So if you're to feed this rabbit here some carrots, you'd be able to get Easter eggs from it. But what we'll do anyways is we'll steal the eggs from it, since we're a stealther. Because these eggs are worth quite a bit, actually. They're worth almost $2,000 a piece. So we'll steal the eggs from it. And then maybe what we'll try and do is we'll mark off this chest here. What chest number is this one? This one's 191. Okay, so what we'll try and do is we'll try and maybe drop out. We'll go back to town really quick and maybe try and grab some carrots in town. Oh, that guy had a really long range of aggro. We'll try and maybe grab some carrots or something and come back and maybe try and feed that guy up and try and get some. We'll try and get some more eggs from him. Be sure to put on a dazzling ribbon. I'll try and see what I've got around the house here. Oh, that's funny. So did you and your boyfriend watch anything good this weekend, or was it pretty much just video game time? Because I've been really obsessed with Better Call Saul as well. My girlfriend and I, like Breaking Bad is one of those shows for her where, you know, she rewatches it every so often and stuff like that. It's kind of one of her go-to background shows. And I didn't mind it. I mean, I enjoyed it. But it's not as big a deal for me as was for her. But recently we started getting into Better Call Saul, which is the spin-off for Breaking Bad, and it is so good. It's really good, Fab. I really like it. Did you and your boyfriend watch Breaking Bad? Oh no, see, you were the opposite, eh? See, I prefer Better Call Saul. I think because, like I've said, I think like Breaking Bad for me was just like too blown out of proportion. Like people were just like, "Oh my god, like Breaking Bad, it's so good." And like by the time I got around to it, which was probably like by season 2, like I don't know, I couldn't get into it. People were like just talking about it too much. Like it was getting wrecked all the time for me. So I never really got into it. Whereas Better Call Saul never really had the traction I found. So I never really heard about like much about it, and it's really good. I really like it. And I don't usually like you know, cop shows or like lawyer shows and stuff like that. But it's kind of more about the criminal side of things, right? It's just like how Gotham isn't really about like superheroes or about like Batman. It's more about the villains, right? That's why I've said to my girlfriend, like, you know, if you're gonna get into any like superhero type of content, Gotham would be a really good choice to get into because of the fact that, you know, it's almost like a cop show more than it is a superhero show, right? Which is pretty cool. I like that about it. So I'm just going to try and see if I can grab some carrots here real quick. Chances are they're probably all sold out because of the event being on, but we'll see if we can grab some here. Wait, what? He's never even seen any of the Game of Thrones, really? My girlfriend's the same way, but I mean, am I allowed to say it's different? I don't know if I'm allowed to say those things anymore. but it's different. Yeah, the carrots are all sold out. I kind of figured that. Carrots have been getting like bought up and sold out like this whole event. So you really can't find them unless you go to like some really obscure places. That would, you know what? That would have been funny. That would have actually been a good thing for my guild to sell on our vendor. So we have let me show you here real quick. We have a guild vendor, Fab. Like, so this is our house here that we've actually placed, right? We all have like bigger houses and stuff like that too, but this is our guild vendor. And this is actually where we like can sell our goods. So each one of these little guys here is an NPC that just sells products for us. Like a mall, almost like a store, right? And one of the items that we should have been selling at our store here was carrots. Because we could, like, I hate to say it, but we could have price gouged, obviously, right? Supply and demand, right? Hate to say it, but it would have been like toilet paper, right? But no, in all seriousness, like, it's really neat that you can do that in this game. So essentially you can run the store 24/7, right? You don't have to be online to interact with the store yourself for someone else to interact with it, which is really cool. It's just an NPC vendor mall. So like, for an example, I run go figure, I run the potions vendor. So I make all the potions for our guild vendor. And so far it's been doing pretty well. I've been selling a lot of healing potions, a lot of curing potions. But yeah, Game of Thrones, I don't know. That was, like, for me, and again, like, that was one of those shows where it would, like, full disclaimer, the end of the show was so atrociously, horribly bad. And I'm sure most people that know anything about Game of Thrones have heard that already. But other than that, like, the whole, like, build-up to the last season, in my opinion, was so good. Like, again, it was one of those shows that really, like, I don't know, you didn't have to be into that style of show, like the high fantasy, to enjoy it, in my opinion. But I mean, that's probably coming from a bias because I liked it, right? And then the final season just wrecked it for me, obviously, but whatever. Okay, let's see if maybe we've got... Where could we go? Maybe we'll try Brit. See if maybe we can find some carrots here real quick. This will be like the last one that we try and find carrots at, and then we'll go back to dungeon or to treasure maps. But it's both the innkeepers and the barkeepers that sell carrots, if I remember correctly. So yeah, they're all sold out. Yeah, so everything is text-based in this game, right? So you actually have to say, like, vendor buy, vendor sell. Yeah, they're probably... Because of the event going on, like I said, like, everything is sold out, right? No one's going to have carrots left. Yeah. Okay, whatever. That's fine. We got... we got 3 eggs from it, right? I don't know how many more it would even give you anyways, so... Oh, the White Walker fight? Yeah, like, I mean, full disclaimer, there might be a little bit of, you know, spoilers here. What is it? 2-3 years after the fact? But yeah, that White Walker fight was a joke, right? Like, yeah, give Arya some credit, but I mean, like, yeah, that was a total cop-out. And just, like, the amount of plot lines and, like, story arcs that essentially just dropped off and were almost ignored, in my opinion, was, in my opinion, for a show that was so thorough up to that point, it was almost unforgivable. You know, like the White Walkers and the design of their kills and stuff like that, like, that was never touched on. Like, there were so many aspects to the show that just kind of fizzled away, right? There was so much build up, and then it was just like, it almost felt like in the final season, like, you know, in a lot of cases, they were like, oh my god, we only have one season, like, we gotta do this, and, we'll do this way, and it was just like, they almost forgot, like, the show had a timeline, right? Like, but yeah, it was really unfortunate. Yeah, well, that was the other part too, right? Like, I mean, like, I get in general, like, I mean, I guess, I don't know. Yeah, the whole Arya thing was really weird. It was just weird in general. Because again, like it felt like her character was going in a certain direction, and then like again, it just kind of flopped, right? Like, she's like training for this, like, you know, incredible assassin rogue type of role, and then like she just kind of like, I don't know, just kind of like drops off with like having it. I don't know. Yeah, it was a real disappointment. If you can't tell from the way I'm talking, like, I can't even like come up with the wording in most cases. Like, that was probably one of the biggest disappointments in like television and stuff, just because of like this, like, there was so much build up for it, right? Because it was so good for so many seasons. Like, it would almost been like an equivalent would have been like with Lord of the Rings or something like that, right? And then like at the end of the show, they're just like, okay, or like the end of the movies, they're just like, okay, like I don't, yeah, I don't, yeah, I won't even try and get into something like that because it's not even comparable. Oh yeah, yeah, where she kind of started turning evil and stuff like that. Yeah, that was really interesting. And again, like I don't know, like certain twists I appreciated, like certain ones were like, but then other ones like something like that, like a character like Daenerys. I don't know, to build her up so highly and then knock her down so much. Like I don't know, I don't get that personally, but I guess that's the surprise of the content. Wait, what am I doing here? I need to go to 85. I don't even know what I'm doing. Getting distracted. Well, that's the thing too, right? That's the funny part with stuff like that, right? And it's just funny too because the amount of people that do it, like for an example, like I hope I don't offend anyone with this, but the amount of people that named like their daughter like Bella or something like that because of like Twilight for a while, right? Or like other really big star names that just go through like this like flare, right? And then just die off, right? Like I've often said that if I ever had a daughter, I would love to name her like Erwin. But I think Erwin is a nicer name than just like being the elf from Lord of the Rings, right? It's just a nice sounding name in my opinion. But I've often said that I would like to use that name. But I don't know. Again, like I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't know if that one's common enough too that people would just like automatically instinctually like just Erwin, you know what I mean? Like that's not a really well-known enough character in my opinion that people just automatically go, oh, your dad's a nerd, like Erwin, Lord of the Rings type of thing. But certain people would catch it. Okay, 85. And that's the other part too with like names like that too, right? Like, yeah, I'm a nerd. Doesn't necessarily mean my kid's gonna be a nerd. So I mean, like, do I want to just like, keyhold them for their entire life with a name like that? I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? You don't know until you see the kid too, right? Sometimes the kid's a Barnabas, and then all of a sudden you see the kid and they're a John, right? And yeah, see that's the thing too, right? Like Daenerys is a really nice sounding name, regardless of the the precursor for it, I guess. Oh, cripes! Forgot I was doing a level 2 here. I'm so distracted. 1 second, I'm just gonna run away here for a quick second and just summon one up real quick. But yeah, it's the same with Khaleesi too. See, I have to admit, like Khaleesi, in my opinion, is getting to the point where you're starting to probably push it. But Daenerys, I think that's a nice sounding standalone name. Yeah, like there's certain like nerd names that are just nice even by themselves without the attachment to the character that they're from. Like Daenerys being one of them, but you're right. Like, can you imagine naming your kid after Daenerys, thinking you're the queen's savior, right? And then all of a sudden it turns out that you're what's her name, Marie Antoinette. Off with their heads. I think I have that reference wrong. But yeah, like. That would be a pretty big letdown that your daughter Your daughter is now named after this horrible person, right? But again, like that's what you get for not for one waiting till the end of the series and naming your kid after a character, right? Should have played it safe with something inanimate like apple or pear. Oh man. What happened to the classics like Little Tina? Well, that's the other part too, right? Like the show was so incredibly unpredictable. I mean, the Red Wedding, you know, the Viper, Joffrey, like literally twist after twist, right? But yeah, you wait until the end of the season on that one, or the end of the series on that one. Wait until you know that you've named your daughter after the Queen of Dragons for real, or the Mother of the Dead. All right, so that one's all done there. I like actually, you know what? I like the level 2 chests to solo. These are like a good happy median between like a tiny bit of a challenge and a little bit of extra loot and still soloable content. Whereas when you start popping to the level 3s, you almost need to start having provoke. You need to start having some pretty big muscle. But these level 2s they're not bad. Summon a demon and you're off to the races, right? Like, this is decent. And then how much extra gold did I make? So an extra 600. I guess it's not too bad. It's not like this is like high risk, on the edge of our seat, worried about PK type of stuff, right? If someone wants to stream snipe me here, they can stream snipe me here. But that was actually one point that was brought up. I was watching the Twitcher. He's another UO streamer, and he actually brought up, which I never really thought about, like treasure maps is actually one of the easiest things in Ultima Online to stream snipe someone on, because I'm literally going to a spot on the map with a recall spot that is numbered. Like, all you have to do is go, okay, he's at number 171. Go to 171. You know what I mean? But, I mean, who cares? Like I often say, like, for me, like, this game is about having fun. It's about, just having fun in the content, letting other people have fun. I've been uber rich in this game so many different times on so many different servers that for me, it's not really just fun to just collect money, collect rares. I'd rather, like, collect stuff, sell stuff, and then, like, be able to unlock content for my guild and stuff, whatever else. Like, for an example, like last night, we ran the seasonal scroll, which is worth like 300,000 gold, right? You're seeing how much time it's taking me to make X amount of money, right? So, like, we went on a scroll run last night, and we did a scroll worth 300k, like 300 grand, right? And side note, for anyone that wasn't here earlier, we completed the scroll. I'm a complete newbie idiot and didn't realize that the key was teleported into my bag, so we lost out on the chest loot, though. So there's that. But no, I'm always more about the content and stuff like that of Ultima Online. Like that's what I always say too. Like, if anyone's ever watching and is like, oh, you know what? Like, I don't know if I'd have fun on that server. I'm not sure how much like time I'm gonna have to play. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna want to like build up a tamer to farm content to get money for PvP. Hit me up. I'll give you some money. I don't care. Hit me up in game. I'll give you some money. I'll get you going. We'll get you going in factions. We'll get you going with, a mage. We'll get you going with whatever you want and join in and have some fun, right? Man, this song is like That song was like dirty. Holy jumping. That was crazy hard beats, yo. But just on that note again, for anyone that wants to check out the server, it's Ultima Online Renaissance. Again, come play here. We've got factions popping off. They're getting like in the middle of the factions have always been here, but they're in the middle of being like revamped and like heightened and stuff. So new faction bases, sigil stealing, like old school factions, right? The way factions should be. Town control, you can control like the guards. Actually, you know what? Here, like I'll show you really quick here. One of the like the faction towns with actual like guards in the town. Like it's so cool. I don't know. There's so many games missing this type of like gameplay nowadays, because so many games like I keep bringing up are like so much about like minimal gear increases, right? Like, oh, this gear is 0.2% better than the piece I'm already wearing, so I'm gonna wear this one. Ultima Online's more about like the actual loot. It's kind of neat that way, like the items. It's really cool that way. Like everyone pretty much wears basic armor, but then like you actually have items that are worth money, like rares and stuff. It's cool. Ned Stark alone dying. I knew then and there the show was going to be unpredictable. Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, that was such a crazy, gut-wrenching scene, too, Fab. Like, even with, but it was neat, too, like, seeing, you know, the juxtaposition between characters and even their own, like, center of morale at times, right? Like someone like the Hound, different characters like that, right? That were struggling the entire show with, you know, am I good? Am I evil? You know, and a lot of it comes down to the perception of the viewer, right? How they're viewing that character at that current time. Because I mean, the Hound, in my opinion, he was a much better guy than 90% of the people on that show, right? And probably a lot of people didn't really see it that way. But I mean, think back about it, right? Like there are very few times when there was an actual morality choice to be made that like the Hound didn't make the right choice, right? Like, I mean, there was like, I guess the one time you could probably consider him making like a really wrong choice was with the farmer and the farmer's daughter or whatnot. Because that was he murdered them out of like pretty much cold blood, if I remember correctly. I think that was pretty much like the worst of it. But other than that, he was a pretty stand-up guy for the most part. Yeah. Oh, the farmer's boy. That's right. But no. Under order. He ran him through under order of Prince Joffrey, right? It was the farmer's boy or the Hound, right? And think about Joffrey, right? Like, that kid was literally a kid with a magnifying glass, right? Like that kid was just pure toxin. Like, but no, that was an order of the prince. So, and that's why it was such a big deal, actually, too, if I remember correctly. Because the Hound, like, I think that was kind of almost the start of it, where he was kind of like, the milk's starting to go sour here. But yeah, no, like, you're right. There was just so many twists and turns. Like, oh man, it was so much build up for so much letdown. It was really too bad. Okay, so yeah, that one's all done. Yeah, you know what? I'm having fun doing treasure maps, and treasure maps are nice, easy content for me to complete, where I can still be chatty and stuff like that. I like to keep my stuff organized in town here. Look at all these maps I'm doing. Those are all my treasure maps that I've completed this morning so far. Just running back and forth to town. Slowly busting them out here. I have so many treasure maps, it's ridiculous. I gotta start getting through them all. Yeah, anyone on UOR who's trying to sell treasure maps, I'm usually buying. Right now I've got a little bit of a lack of money because I have so much invested in, like, I've got so much invested in items and stuff like that. But anyone that's watching from UOR or whatnot and has treasure maps and is looking to sell them, I'm usually looking to buy them. So hit me up. Heels on you, Erwin. It's all me. Oh, okay, no. Oh, yeah, you're right. No, yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah, I forget how that went down essentially, but you're right, because I think actually, if I'm not mistaken, like the Hound actually went to the farm afterwards, like after the incident, if I'm not mistaken, too. Actually, so yeah, I guess he was. I guess he was probably one of those kind of morally gray characters, I guess, after all. Because I guess there's a few different times he was not the nicest guy. Oh great. Oh great. What's what am I at? 81? Okay, I'm an idiot. 81. Alright. I don't normally try and cornball out with like different characters on different accounts like this, but apparently I ran out of regents, so I'm gonna throw up a gate to my other character just so they can get back to town, so I'm not sitting here idly, like trying to run back to town. Oh, I gotta move though. I'm standing right where the gate's gonna go. That's one thing. I like to do this stuff regularly on stream, folks. I like to forget regents. I like to forget what I'm doing, lose my train of thought. It's a pretty regular thing. It's lots of fun. Yeah, but I think you're right, Fab. I think he was instructed to just return him for further questioning, and I think he ran him through. Like, he ran him down on the horse. Because also, too, isn't that what kind of, like, sparked off, like, Ned as well? Like, kind of, like, flared up Ned, I think? Because, yeah, I think that's what kind of flared up Ned as well. Like, seeing the fact that, you know, he had been run through. Oh, I was going to say, where did my lantern go? There we go. Okay. But yeah, so many twists and turns. That show is so good. And even for a show too, like I like it when shows actually come up with languages and stuff like that. You know, with Dothraki and everything. But oh, that reminds me. One of my favorite scenes, obviously, was the Daenerys with like the slave trader, where she knew what he was saying the whole time. How good was that, eh? Oh man, that was so well done. Yeah. 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 Yeah, that was, oh man, that was unreal. Like having her like just kind of like sitting there idly by and everything like that, and like even just the way she's just kind of like playing it off and everything, and then, you know, where she's talking to what was her like handmaiden's name? I forget her name. But essentially she was like kind of like, you know, talking to her, and, you know, kind of like almost bringing her up to speed, kind of like almost foreshadowing, you know, what that she knew more than what she was leading on and stuff like that. But oh, that was so good. Yeah, that was so well done. Actually, Valerian is my mother tongue. Yeah, like, and that was one of those, like, and that was a character that was a total roller coaster ride, right? It was the same as Robb Stark too, like, but at, I mean, a different point of the hill, right? Like, Robb Stark was kind of like cut off at the knees when he was just starting his upslope, whereas Daenerys was like at the peak, right? She was virtually on the throne, and then all of a sudden it was just like having her legs just chopped out from underneath her. It was good. Yeah, that is a good point about people naming their daughter after her, and then now they're kind of like, oh. Yeah, word to the wise, whenever there's something like, you know, high fantasy, anything where there's a series involved, you might want to wait until the end of the series to start naming your kids after them. You might want to wait until the character's story development, or, you know, character development is done. Sometimes the Disney princess doesn't continue to be a Disney princess. Just looking for stuff to like throw out at this point. I got so much garbage on like in my bank account. Hey, Ozzy, how's it going, bud? Oh, Fate Snowbear, thank you so much for the follow. And Ghost Techie, thank you for the follow. Thank you so much, guys. How's it going today? Fab and I have just been talking about all the Game of Thrones action. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, iDob. Yeah, we were talking about Game of Thrones. There's been, we were talking about, too, like, we feel really bad for people that don't wait until, like, character developments are completely done to name their kids after a character. Because anyone with a daughter named Daenerys now might be regretting it. Yeah, I'm horrible for that, Fab. I am horrible for that. The gift of gab, right? I used to keep people in the furniture store for hours when I used to sell furniture. So what's everyone up to today? How was everyone's weekend? And by the way, I want to, of course, give everyone a healing potion, right? All the new viewers, all the new followers, make sure you stay healed up. And this is a big enough healing potion that it's shareable, folks. So if you see someone out there that needs a little bit of healing throughout the day or whatnot, pass them the healing potion. Give it off to them, right? Take a sip yourself, let them sip on it. You know, maybe sanitize the mouthpiece a little bit before you sip on it. But get people healed up. And also, too, the RGB potion. Make sure you take it with you today, folks. Stay lag-free, right? No one wants lag when all this stuff's going on. Stay lag-free, everyone. How's it going today, everyone? Glad you could tune in. Aussie's clipped, or Aussie's scares always get clipped. I hope someone clipped it. I was gonna say though, for the amount of times that Aussie gets scared, and has to have it clipped, I think it's gonna get to the point. Where where he runs out of hard drive space. Oh wait, I don't think the clips are actually stored on your hard drive, are they? They're stored on the Twitch server. So he's just gonna fill up a Twitch server full of scare clips. Oh yeah, you can highlight it after the stream, right? You don't have to do it live, if I'm not mistaken. You can go back as a mod or as a creator and do it afterwards for the highlight, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, so that's cool. So how was your weekend, Ozzy? If you don't mind me asking too, where did you go in the costumes? Like, did you guys have some sort of like a costume party to go to or something? Or was that for some sort of like a SpongeBob event? Because those costumes were really cute. The Wish versions of Patrick and SpongeBob. That was pretty good. I liked that. That looks like how I usually do like my $5 cosplays. Like, actually, that reminds me. I shouldn't have my baseball hat on right now. Why do I have? Yeah, I should be rocking my. Look at this, folks. Here, okay, here we go. We're gonna be rocking our picker hat here, folks. We're gonna be rocking our picker hat here. What am I doing here? I apologize, everyone. I don't have the proper attire on for doing this job. Oh, I want to catch this. So what does it say? Our friend's daughter's 3rd birthday. Every year they do a dress up, and as of this party we have. Oh no way! That's awesome, man. That's super awesome. Year one we went as Yellow Wiggles. Oh, that's super funny. That's such a good idea. I love it when people do stuff like that, like involve the parents in like the kids' parties and stuff like that too. Because I'm totally one of like those parents where like when like we get invited to like any kids parties or anything like that, and it's like at a jungle gym, I'm the first parent to be like, we allowed on the equipment? What's the weight limit of that monkey bar set over there? How many kids can we have on that with me on it too at the same time? I'm horrible for that. I'm a big kid at heart. All right, 81. Let's go back to that. Okay, so here we go, folks. We're going to pop this chest here, summon the demon to make sure he's protecting us. Okay. Shovel this bad boy up. Get this going now. Year 2, we went as French people with the black and white striped shirts, some rainbow stripes in red. That's a good one. You gotta go as like the Disney characters one time. Go, you know, it'd be really funny. Go as Wreck-It Ralph. Go as Wreck-It Ralph and Vanellope. I think that'd be a good one. That'd be a really funny one. That's good, Fab. Is it because it's only the two of you that dress up? You win every year by default, right? I won first place and I got a participation trophy at the same time. That's awesome. Well, it's like the Office episode, right? Where Michael tells his girlfriend to show up in full costume, so she shows up as a cheerleader. This isn't a costume party, Michael. Carol, what do you call that over there? A traditional Indian woman wearing a sari? If I ever end up as kidney, if I ever end up at a kid's birthday party, I'm the one the parents stops their kids off and says, "Best of luck." Really? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Ghost. No, I'm 110% involved. I love kids' birthday parties. Like I said, I had a snow hill out here this winter, and I'm sure the snow hill saw more use from me than any child this entire winter. So Zez, this is Ultima Online Renaissance. This is a T2A, like, true to time period server with enhancements. Essentially, it's Renaissance perfected. Awesome server, man. Check it out. Check it out, man. Even if you want to sometime, like I always let people know too. I mean, I don't care about money on this game at all at this point. I've had it. I've done it. I'm just here to help people have some fun in Ultima Online because I think it's a really good game to play, especially like community-based games and stuff like that. But if you want some money to start up, hit me up, Zez, and I'll give you some money. We'll get you started. Oh, and just for heads up too, the PvP here is like ramping up huge fast if you're a PvPer. The faction bases have just been revamped. We've got full factions with, oh sweet, a gargoyle pickaxe, beauties. We've got full factions with sigil stealing, town control, proper designed bases for each individual faction. I'm not a PvPer myself, but I know a lot about it throughout the years, and this is some of the best faction work I've seen done, in my opinion. They're really striving to pop it off, which is really cool. And the PVM content is quite vast too. They've got enhancements on the treasure chests. So it goes up to level 7. They've got enhancements on the boating and water content to the game. There is seasonal events throughout the different seasons. It's a pretty well developed server, man. I've been enjoying my time here, you know, pretty thoroughly for what, a couple of months now. I haven't been here a long time, but I've been here a couple of months, and it's been nothing but enjoyment so far. So check it out. Oh, all the best, Fab. No, all the best today, eh? Thank you for the chit chat. I appreciate it so much. You've been such a great chatter today. I always appreciate that. What level is this chest? How am I failing these lockpicks? I'm GM lockpicking. How come I couldn't find that chest when I was actually building up my lockpicking? My favorite moment, I was at a friend's house for a party dressed as Deadpool, and a kid dressed as Batman come over to invite me to his party. Oh, no way, Ghost. That type of, see, and that's why I'm the way I am, like, around kids and stuff like that. Because, like, kids just, like, they seem to, like, fuel off me, right? Like, I make, like, I know it sounds like, whatever, but, like, I make kid friends all the time at, like, parties and stuff like that. Because, like, I'm just a big kid, right? Like, kids just, like, warm up to me very easily. Like, even the really shy kids and stuff like that, they see how I act, they see I'm just being a goof and stuff, and they warm up to me. And that, like, that's so awesome. He grabbed my hand and in his best Batman voice said, "It's okay, I don't have parents either." What, like, stuff like that almost makes me want to, like, tear up, Ghost. Like, isn't stuff like that just amazing? And it's, like, it's so, like, again, like I was saying earlier, like, just to give someone a boost, like, to like their content, you know, on a Facebook page or something or whatever, like, it's so easy to do that stuff nowadays, right? And the lack of it, you know, it is kind of sad at times, but it's so nice to hear when you hear those stories and stuff like that. Like, that's so awesome. Because my nephew used to be really big into that type of stuff, and he always used to, like, he always used to essentially ask me, you know, Uncle Andrew, like, with, you know, he'd plan out his costume, and he'd ask me, you know, "Uncle Andrew, I'm going for this as Halloween. Can you essentially come up with something to complement the costume?" So one year he went as Pikachu, and I went as the trainer from Pokemon Go, to, like, complement his Pikachu costume. So we were running around all night, like, at doors and stuff like that, and I would say, like, "Pikachu, go!" And then he would go up to the door and then, you know, do his trick-or-treating, and then "Pikachu, come back!" And he thought that was the funnest thing he has ever done. Like, he was killing himself laughing, house after house, the whole night. Like, you know, and it made my night too, for something so easy. Like, I literally just had to pick out a couple of things from my closet, you know, like a $5 cosplay type of thing, right? Like, okay, backpack, rolled up socks, baseball hat, you know, and did, like, a Pokemon ball, and it works, right? It's virtually effortless to bring a smile to a kid's face, right? But no, it's incredible. Like, and it's so, like I keep saying, it's effortless. You know, $5 cosplays for a kid's birthday party. Do it even if you're not invited in costume, right? Just show up in costume one time and watch the look on the kids' faces. Talk about crying here. Like, man, you'll tear up there, right? And like you said, like, something so simple, like, you know, like, and something like that too that kids pick up on, right? You know, saying something like, you know, "Don't worry, Deadpool, I don't have parents either," right? Like for a kid to come up with something like that, even in itself is breathtaking, right? The beautiful innocence of a child, right, is incredible. It's not to be wasted, that's for sure. But no, it's so fun going to kids' parties and, you know, just interacting with them and everything like that, right? Like, even recently, side note, we had this, for anyone in my area or whatnot, we have this amazing, incredible, like, playground, finally, like, one of those indoor playgrounds in our area, because I live in a really small area, right? And I'm really worried that because of everything going on, that it might not, like, be able to, like, sustain itself through everything. So, like, please go there. If they're asking for donations, donate to them, because this place is incredible. It's little living. It's almost like a little tiny city set up inside. So, like, there's, like, a little fire station. There's a little theater where, like, kids can go and, like, role play different characters in different city buildings with different like different acting materials and stuff. Like the looks on the kids' faces when they go into the theater and there's a mic so they can sing on stage, or when they go into the house and they can, play in the play kitchen, or, when they go to the grocery store and they have their own little shopping cart and they can go to the, to the aisles and shop, and then they go up to the cash register and one of their friends can actually like scan the products and scan them, like they're killing, like they're loving it, right? They have such a good time. Such a good time. All right, I think we're all done with this chest here. We'll do a hack job on it here. Where'd my... That's the one thing about this newbie hatchet. It's always going missing. It's always going missing. Oh, sorry, I think I missed some stuff here. A bunch of my airsoft buddies and I went trick-or-treating with their kids and little brothers, all dressed as soldiers. We tactically breached houses for candy. See, like, even stuff like that too, right? Or even one year what I did was, it was funny because, like, Fortnite, the crazy rage right now for everyone, or for every kid, right, is Fortnite. And it was funny because one year we were getting ready outside my friend's house for Halloween, and all the kids were, playing Fortnite. Blah, 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 blah. I've got an AK, I've got blah, 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 I've got X armor, I've got a chug jug, whatever, right? And it was kind of sad to see them play it, because essentially what it kind of rolled into was, 90% of the kids were, I shot you, I didn't get shot, I shot you first. It was just an arguing match, right? So the following year, for my nephew's birthday, I went out and got, I think it's called Laser X. It's a laser tag, like home system, but what it does is it has like a life counter, and then it will like talk to you, so it's almost like playing a video game. So as you lose life, like it might say like, you've only got 3 lives left, get running, or you need to reload your weapon, get out there, chicken, or something like that. But it interacts with you. And so now whenever they like play Fortnite, they can put these on, and there's like less arguing that way, right? Because like if someone gets hit, their life total goes down, and when they're dead, they're out of the game. And it was just really neat to see them like, what? Like, when they all realized that my nephew had gotten this, like, all of them have kind of like expanded on the sets now, so whenever they get together, they all bring their own sets, because they all interact, the sets all interact with one another. But it's so awesome to just see, how that evolved and stuff like that, right? And again, where parents are like, oh, my kid doesn't want to go outside, and they don't want to, get off the... Maybe you're not like giving them reason to either, you know what I mean? Like you hear so many parents nowadays like, oh, like we played outside when we were kids. Like, yeah, because there wasn't HD graphics, being provided to them 24/7. Like, if you had a PlayStation 5 back when you were 7-10 years old, you probably would have played with it too. don't sit on your throne of pompous, ego and think that you wouldn't have played your PlayStation or computer, because it wasn't available at the time, right? So, things like that too, right? Like give your kid a reason to go outside, play with them outside, right? Maybe your kid doesn't want to go outside because they're bored, because the only way they can interact with another person is through a computer, right? Which, I mean, it's sad to say, but it's the case in some cases, right? And we're gonna go sell some stuff here, actually. So imagine a small group of like 15 people roaming around, having the adults kneeling down in the yards, keeping guard while the kids run up to the house and get candy. Like, see, stuff like that is priceless, right? And the kids will remember that forever, right? And okay, like, you could be one of those like really uptight parents and like, oh, well, what if Jimmy from the office sees me and, thinks weirdly of me on Monday when I go back to work that I was, so what? So what? So what? Let Jimmy be a prude. You had fun, your kids had fun, and they love you that much more for it, right? No, I don't know. There's so much good to be had. It's so easy. Oh, that's awesome, though. We even get a few police officers involved. Oh, see, that's super awesome, too. Like, you see the videos of that sometimes, too, right? Where, like, you'll see, like, an officer gets called to say, like, a a noise disturbance or something of, you know, a group of kids playing in the street. And that's the other part too, folks. If you're one of those people complaining about kids, you know, playing in the streets, but you're also one of those people complaining about, you know, on Facebook that kids don't play outside, can't have your cake and eat it too. But no, it's one of those situations where, like, you know, you see the videos of like cops where they're going to show up and you think they're going to just tear into people for, you know, noise complaints and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden they go sledding with the kids or whatever else, right? Like, it's awesome to see. Yeah, no, there's so much potential good out there. And that was the one thing that I've brought up a couple of times, that I figured, you know, something like this event might have been like I always joke about it, but like the Independence Day, right, of events, where essentially it's got all of us like singing Kumbaya around the campfire, holding hands and eating s'mores, right? But in a lot of cases, sadly, it's driven people further apart, right? You know, it's kind of that mentality of, well, what do they have that I need in a lot of cases, right? And, you know, like, there's so much to go around and to share that, I mean, I think there's going to be more than enough toilet paper, folks. I think we'll be fine. The other part of it too is, what's the point of hoarding toilet paper if you're not going to hoard food first? All right, let's go back to the banky here. Let's do some banking. Mr. ATM, I'd like to withdraw my funds, please. So that was a pretty cool find too, actually. We got a gargoyle pickaxe. It's not like we can keep it in our bank though. We got too many items in our bank. Too many items. We got too much money. We got too much moolah. We got too much moolah. Oh, I didn't mean to double click it there. All right. Yeah, it's really nice when the police officers do get involved though too, because I mean, at the same time too, again, like, it's so easy for them to do that kind of stuff, right? And I'm sure in a lot of cases too, like, I'm sure it happens a lot of the times where, you know, they get a call from said known person that seems to call every single time that there's even, you know, a twig that snaps on the street, and, you know, here comes John the cop, and he's got to do his job, right? I mean, he gets paid to do his job, you know. Said caller is probably watching out the window to make sure that John shows up every time. And every time John shows up, he's probably like, yeah. Yep, I'm here. Yep, the kids are playing in the street again. Yep, I'm talking to them. I'm getting them to be quiet, right? And we all know who I'm talking about. Every street has got one. Everyone has got the nosy biddy. Oh, I forgot to drop my map in town. I have to drop the map in town, folks. I apologize for that. I have to drop it in town. But yeah, everyone's got that nosy biddy on the street that just, you know, has to be in everyone's business. And like, what does it affect you? Really, what does it affect you? I've got one in my area. What do? You just smile and nod and have a great day. How are you today? But no, that's the other part too. I think in a lot of cases, like, people see me on the street and stuff like that, and I'm a relatively, like, I guess, young looking guy. So people probably think I may be, like, a little bit more on the punkish side, maybe, or maybe I'll be, like, you know, unruly or something, or maybe I'm probably at the proper age to be a little bit loud at times with friends drinking or whatnot. But I don't drink. I don't generally have people over very late because there's a kid in the house, so, you know, you don't generally need to worry too much about me. I'm pretty quiet. Most of my sound comes through my headphones. All right? Most of my sound comes through my headphones. But no, even like, even just to bring it back, like, with the costumes and stuff like that too, like if Ozzy's still here, I don't think Ozzy had left. I didn't see a buy. I apologize if Ozzy did leave. Oh, He did. I apologize. Okay, so I missed some messages there. Oh, I missed a whole bunch of messages here. I'm sorry. Oh, and here I am popping up the chest here. Give me a second here, folks. Yeah, I missed a whole bunch of messages. I apologize for that, folks. Usually I'm not too bad for that, but I did miss a bunch of messages there. I had one of them charge out of their house, scream at us saying we were too old to go trick-or-treating, didn't even see the kids with us, and told us we shouldn't be doing this because it promotes like, and people like that, right? Like, you can't even give them the time of day, right? Like, there's no point in even, you know, trying to deal with a person like that. Again, you just smile, nod, and go on to the next house, right? Like, people like that, like, are just like, those are real life trolls, right? Like, those are the people in real life standing outside of like grocery stores, like, you know. And again, you know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. Put on some shoes. Put on some shoes. Stop ranting and raving like a psycho. The sky is not falling, Chicken Little. It's not falling. Go home and watch your Twilight Zone, okay? No one cares. No one cares. No one cares that if the kids play Magic the Gathering, they're gonna start, you know, worshipping Satan. No one cares. Magic cards have been out for 20 plus years. Everyone's fine so far. We need to ban magic cards. Those magic cards are the devil's gateway to our dimension. Lady, if you got thoughts like that, then maybe you should be the one that needs some attention. While we're at it, we should do away with Kool-Aid too. That's the devil's juice. Oh, what? They followed us around the neighborhood just screaming at us and had to be escorted home. So it actually escalated to like an actual insane point? Man. I'm sorry for that. Well, it was funny actually. The one year that we cuz my sister's friend group and then like my girlfriend and I, we always meet up and stuff like that every year for trick-or-treating because we all have like kids roughly around the same age, like all sub like 8-9 range, right? And it's funny because one year we went out trick-or-treating and there was this one guy that was dressed up and had taken it upon himself to like scare the kids at his house, but he was dressed up as Michael Myers. And it was really funny because like as he's doing this, what he would do is the kids would go up trick-or-treating and he would walk around the corner of the house and then just stand behind them. Like just really close and just eerie, like just stand behind them looking down at them. So as I turned around, he'd be right there, right? And it was funny because one of the kids in our group, he did that to them. And it was funny because the kid was like, oh, you didn't even scare me, blah, 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 blah. And then like the guy played like the mental mind F on him for the whole rest of the night. It was so intense. It got to the point where like by the end of the night, like the kids were literally like if they saw a shadow blip out of the corner of their eye, they were it's Michael, it's him, and they were freaking out because essentially what he got to the point was he wasn't actually scaring them, but what he would do was he was just following us around the neighborhood. And like all he would do was as the kids would come around the corner from like one of apparently I don't have invisibility set. As one of the kids would come around the corner, all he would do is he would like slowly like just stare at them as they were and it was like this slow mind game. It even got to the point where one of the kids was walking down the road and they started freaking out. They're like, "Oh my God, it's him!" And I forgot which one it was, but I was like, "That's a guy having a cigarette on his porch." Like it was clearly a guy like just sitting there like just like. And they were freaking out though that Michael Myers was still after us at that point. All right, I gotta summon a demon here to get rid of these last couple of creatures here. They're gonna be annoying, especially with the casters. They're super annoying. Yeah, look, he's just on a paralyze rant. Come on, man. You bugger. All right. Kool-Aid actually has only 8 grams. Well, that's the other thing too, Eekers. Kool-Aid is like it's self-mixable, right? So at the same time too, it's how you mix it too. But no, Kool-Aid was just one of those things that came to the top of my mind, like, because it's kind of one of those like go-to, like the joke drink, right? Like drink the purple Kool-Aid. But no, it's just one of those things that came to the top of my mind, man. But yeah, you're right. Most other juices have way more sugar than Kool-Aid. That's the other thing too. Like, I didn't know this, but I guess when Kool-Aid first came out, it used to be like pre-mixed. Like it used to come in like a bladder pack where you would just mix the whole thing in and it would come like pre-sugared and everything. It's kind of neat. I'd almost prefer it that way. I never liked having to mix in your own sugar to the Kool-Aid packs, because then you had to have the sugar like on the side too, right? Oh, do I need that orc mask? Eh, sure, I might as well take it. Throw it away in town, right? Oh, diabetic daughter, so you count the carbs. No, that's pretty understandable, man. You know what's not too, like, have you ever looked into like the sugar-free, like, complete alternatives though? Like a lot of the ones I like to drink most of the cases, or most of the times, because I am a big juice drinker. So I try to consciously like limit my sugar levels when I can. But a lot of the ones I like to drink are the like these here. Like again, you'd obviously have to kind of do your own research into them. But once I can never get the camera to focus on things like this, like the Mio squirter things. These ones specifically are the sport, like the sport ones. So I think the whole idea behind them is there isn't sugar in the sport ones, but usually those are pretty good too. Because there's a really nice too on the fly. You just like squirt them into a water bottle as you're going, and you're off to the races, right? They're great. I love them. Like if anyone's ever wondering like what's in, like I've got my healer utility belt here, right? Like this is kind of like my joke. I always wear this on a lot of the times on stream, my potion bottles, right? Like I've got my potion bottles here, right? And a lot of times people ask me like, well, what are in the potion bottles? And like just for point, like they've been sitting there way too long now. But just for point of reference, like that's what's in them is the Mio squirters, because they're all different colors. And then I can get like the proper colors I want for the potions. I think we're all done with this chest here now. Yeah, okay. So let's get it chopped up here. Let's get her chopped up. Make sure everything's looted here. And then we're all done. Get some extra gems there, might as well, right? No one in that group even noticed I was around. Only him, and it made my night. Oh, really? Oh, wait. Oh, I missed some here. I worked on a haunted farm one year. I was younger, and I completely convinced one of those guys that ain't afraid that I was haunting him. No one in the group even noticed I was around, only him, and it made my night. Things like that are so much creepier, right? Because even that happened to me when, like, when we were teenagers. We went to go see, I guess what The Exorcist. We went to go see The Exorcist. Oh, someone's taking all my maps in town here. But we went to go see The Exorcist, and what made it extra scary for me was the fact that even to this day, like people tell me it's not there, and I think it's just them messing with my head. But you know, in the movie, how like there's. Okay, you know how in Fight Club 2, how they kind of explain, like, he splices in, like, the single-cell clips of, like, porno scenes to movies that he's airing in the theater? Well, in The Exorcist, there's single-cell clips of, like, almost like a vampiric face, where it's, like, a really pale face. So while we were watching the movie in the movie theater, these single cell faces every once in a while, like I think it happens like maybe 2 or 3 times throughout the movie, it pops up, right? And I kept freaking out because like I would like, oh my God, did you just see that? And a lot of my friends were like just see what? Like, no, like I didn't see it. And it was like extra scary for me because like, here I am thinking like the movie is possessing me or something, right? And it's like, it's a pretty known thing in the movie though that this happens, right? But it was just really scary for me at the time because like, here I am talking to my friends like, did you see that? Did you see that? And a lot of the times they're just like, what, did I see, did I see this part, or they refer to something that was very blatantly on screen, right? But it was pretty freaky. It was pretty freaky. Yeah, stuff like that. Like it's the slow burn, right? Those slow burn scares are brutal. Just putting some wands together here, some ID wands. It's always nice to kind of have an ID wand, even though this character has ID. A lot of the times I'll give my ID wands to like my tamers and stuff like that. So just on the fly, they can ID stuff to make sure if I need it or not. Oh, we'll drop this mask in town here. And then we've got another map to do here. And as I was saying too, if anyone hasn't seen it, the movie Bad Trip, really funny movie. Go check it out. That one's really good. It's with Eric Andre, if I'm not mistaken, and it is really, really funny. It's kind of like a Candid Canberra type of movie, very similar to Bad Grandpa. My girlfriend and I watched it this past weekend, but it was really good. And again, just gotta get away from that Mong bat here for a quick second, and then I want to do a quick shout out to my buddy here again. So, just for heads up, folks, this music you are listening to right now has come to us from Freeman, one of my good buddies growing up. He started getting into music. Well, he's been into music his entire life. Getting into some DMCA-free, copyright-free, streamable music for content creators. So by all means, if you would like to use his content in your videos, in your streams, by all means, you're allowed to use him. It is available at, I'm going to give him a quick shout out here. It is available at Freeman on Spotify. I believe he's available on the Twitch Tunes store as well. So by all means, use him in your streams if you would like. Just obviously give him credit where credit is due, as you know, he's an up-and-coming music artist, and I think he's doing a great job. I love a lot of his content. He's got a good array of different music, and he's got some really positive beats. Super nice guy. I've known him virtually since the beginning of Ultima, right? He was actually one of my old Ultima buddies back in the day, one of my neighbors across the road. But show him some love, everyone. I'm sure he'd appreciate the plays and stuff like that, but send some love out to him, right? He's got some good music. I really like it. I'm going to play this a little bit louder here for a little bit, folks, just so you can kind of feel the music here. Don't worry, I will turn it back down in a second here, though. I will turn it back down here. Like I said, I just wanted to highlight some of the music that I've been playing today. I always like to give credit where credit